Hello, you magnificent soul. Are you also seeking and maybe feeling called to something more significant than the life you are presently leading? And perhaps you are unable to even identify it accurately or are fearful of living in that exact manner? If you now want to find and live your soul plan, then this video is just right for you. Here I will demonstrate how to get answers to these questions and explain why you might feel just as you feel at this very moment. I'm Riedel, walking the shamanic path for nearly 20 years, initiated into the traditions of the Incas and the Blackfoot. The video is split into two parts. The initial segment explores the concept of your purpose or soul plan, if you have one at all. And the second part is, how can you actually live and implement your destiny and this soul plan in your everyday life? Destiny or soul plan is closely linked to our essence or our soul core, which speaks through our heart. And in order to acknowledge our predetermined future for ourselves, it is primarily about listening to our heart first, tuning in, and acquiring knowledge of it piece by piece. Destiny may sound weighty initially, but according to my interpretation, it is essentially about living and expressing oneself without constraints, progressing towards one's maximum potential to the place where your heart irresistibly beckons you. And that is precisely the soul plan, which is also connected to uncertainties and doubts throughout the years. In numerous discussions, I've encountered two distinct types facing exactly this problem. The first type is that there are people who do not have access to the language of their hearts, and therefore do not know in which direction their life should change or where they want to align themselves. And then there are other individuals who already possess access to their hearts and even comprehend maybe the soul journey they have ahead of them, but they are filled with uncertainties and anxieties, and that is precisely the reason why they do not pursue their soul plan. So how can I learn to listen to my heart and recognize my destiny? To do that, I would like to tell you a short story from my own life. I was in my early 30s in a job in sales management and completely unhappy. I felt a sense of meaninglessness in my life, and that ultimately led me to a burnout. And that was precisely because I had not listened to the call of my heart, because of course I had not yet learned how to do so. I absolutely wanted to preserve my life because I had already accomplished a great deal and naturally did not want to discard it. And on the other hand, it was so intolerable that I simply couldn't sustain this previous existence any longer. Because on a daily basis, I experienced headaches that were similar to migraines, and I genuinely had no alternative but to question what actions I would take if I genuinely possessed unlimited opportunities and could liberate myself from all the responsibilities or the anticipations from my own self and from other individuals. To summarize, what would be my internal aspirations or preferred way of living based on my natural inclinations and desires? Because it's fun for me to live myself as I truly am. Yes, and this question occupied me for several days. And then the answer emerged. My aspiration is to become a spiritual teacher, to aid people and to witness their growth and development. And having the ability to live a life of abundance, freedom, and lightness, and being able to travel to various locations around the globe to learn from other experts. That was my response. But when I received this answer, at the same time, this inner doubter arose in me, who immediately wanted to talk me out of it with sentences like, "Are you completely crazy now? Are you totally megalomaniacal now? You are unable to do that in any way, shape, or form. Regain normalcy once more and return back down to earth." That was the voice of another person. And with this story, I want to show you that even if you hear the voice of your heart, you still have to deal with these inner resistances, doubts, and fears on the other side. And it is completely normal to have these two voices. And naturally, there are also individuals who genuinely have no clue which destiny or vocation they should pursue, because they have no contact or insufficient contact with their hearts. And for these individuals, in the initial phases, it is all about taking steps or positioning themselves towards something that feels slightly better than what they are presently experiencing and living through in their lives and day-to-day existence. And then you proceed gradually in the direction where your destiny or calling unfolds itself more and more as you take step by step. The more you walk the path, the clearer and greater your destiny will become. And I want to provide you with the tip here: have trust in this process. It simply takes time for you to allocate more time handling it and implement these measures, regardless of how insignificant they may appear. And when you commence living for yourself, doing what genuinely brings you happiness, what brings you joy, what makes your heart sing, it may initially start off as just a hobby that you actively pursue with passion and dedication. And as time goes by and as the years pass, it is possible that this activity occupies an increasing amount of space. And it can also be that by doing so, you free yourself more and more, because you start living all aspects within you and give them space to unfold. So how can we effectively activate and maintain a deeper connection with our destiny to live a more fulfilling life? The initial significant step is to commence placing the joy of life back at the center of your own life experience. What truly makes you happy? What would you like to do more intensively? Who do you want to spend more time with? And where do you want to live? What truly makes you happy? Grant yourself the permission to lead such a life and to be granted the opportunity to do so. Yes, it may sound easy now, but many individuals, and believe me, initially it was the same for me, do not grant themselves the permission to lead such a life and to undertake all the necessary actions to attain such a life. To live in a completely genuine and authentic manner without any limitations, and to be completely free. If you just imagine at this moment that such a life were possible, completely liberated from the constraints that restrict you. So now let's proceed to the second part. How can we gradually succeed in managing to truly live this destiny outwardly as well? I have been pursuing this question for almost 20 years now, and have learned various absolutely effective methods in shamanism and other systems over the years, which have greatly changed my life and that of my clients as well. Meanwhile, everyone is now able to not only discover their purpose, but also to live and implement it with a step-by-step guide. And the key lies in a method I developed, where you go through step-by-step the medicine wheel of transformation and the so-called archetypal power, such as, for instance, or in other words, of the deer, the bear, the hummingbird, and the eagle, all four animals found in this diverse, and they can help you to free yourself from your fears, from your blockages, and above all, of course, from the limiting patterns. And on the other hand, they can help you activate your inner strength so that you are able to increase your own energy. And as time passes, an inner stable foundation of self-love, self-confidence, inner strength, and optimism gradually develops as a result of this process. And in my perspective, this foundation is absolutely vital in order to move forward to the subsequent phase, to manifest your vision, your soul's path, even in an external sense of reality. The bad news is that these accesses are often enveloped in heavy energy, with feelings like fear, anger, sadness, hatred, envy, guilt, and shame, which can then accumulate in your system over the years. And the second thing is also that the inner doubter, the inner critic, has been nourished more and more over the years. And as a result, what you believe about yourself, that you are small, that you are insignificant. And this inner critic has grown louder over a period of time and has even partially taken over the leadership role in your life, exerting more influence and control. And it is possible that your life has taken a wrong direction as a result. And over the years, you have increasingly been feeling worse and unhappier without really knowing why. And the positive news is that you can also gradually release these heavy energies and let go of limiting patterns and programs. It is all a continuous process, and you also have ample time available for it. And always focus on what you have accomplished, even if they are just small steps. What does that mean specifically? The archetypal power, the work, or the medicine wheel of transformation? It starts with the journey with the deer which basically sheds its fur, similar to everything dead, everything that no longer fits you, so that you can let go of it. So it can assist you in gradually releasing this heavy energy that you have accumulated over time, which feels like a burden on your shoulders or chest, thereby providing a sense of relief and lightness. And in the second step, to acknowledge the beauty of life once more, to express gratitude for having the opportunity to live this life that you are currently experiencing, that you focus on what you already have in your life. Yes, and then comes the bear. And the bear can assist you in activating your inner power, so that similar to the bear, you are able to establish your own kingdom, your own territory, and acquire the ability to advocate for your values and for all that truly matters to you. And if required, learn to fight for it. Visualize the bear as the mightiest. He possesses no fear and has no requirement to seek approval from anyone. So you can always inquire yourself in your life, what would the bear do in this particular situation or set of circumstances? In this manner, the bear can additionally assist you in progressively living your power more and more naturally. Yes, and then arrives the hummingbird, which consumes from the flowers, from the nectar of life. And he also embarks on large, distant journeys, which are physically impossible for him. And how can he make something impossible like that possible? Yes, and then he comes across the wild geese, and he finds a place to rest in their feathers while they are flying, and is then transported over long distances, allowing him to achieve what seemed impossible. So the hummingbird can assist you in accessing abundance, in order to be able to drink from the nectar of life, by beginning to grant yourself permission now to cultivate an abundance consciousness within yourself. And it is genuinely your birthright to live in abundance, to have the capacity to lead the life that you deeply cherish and carry in your heart. And it may also be that he wants to demonstrate to you that now is the moment to ultimately break free. Even if you have a feeling that you are not perfect, not good enough, or not well prepared enough for the task at hand, or that the different external circumstances at the moment are not currently perfect for it. And the secret is that you still continue to go on the journey in order to set off and start your adventure. Because every great journey begins with the initial significant step, which is frequently the most challenging. And in the process of doing so, you can also inquire of yourself, do I genuinely desire to attain this new existence in plenty, whatever that may signify to you? Irrespective of any obstacles, blockages, or fears that may arise on this path, it is crucial to ascertain if you are truly prepared and desirous of having this life. When you then receive a clear yes for yourself, your why is also strong enough. And then you will inevitably set out on the journey. Because with each day, you are getting closer step by step to your destiny and also to your wonderful new life full of ease, full of freedom. Building on that, then comes the eagle, and the eagle is the one that can fly the highest. He is aware of the route to the sun and back. Therefore, he is aware of the route to the Great Spirit and back, thus establishing a connection between our worlds. And he has the ability to assist you in gaining a bird's eye view of your life and perceiving your life from a different perspective. And he can also aid you in activating contact with your higher self, thereby enhancing the connection with your heart and your essence. And you may also come to the realization that the path of least resistance is not always the correct or most suitable one to take in your journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Your vision, your destiny, or even your full potential that you desire to experience frequently exists at a considerable distance from your past life experiences thus far. And it is possible that at that moment you then come to the realization that you are permitted to accept and overcome different challenges and tests, and thus to develop more self-love, more primal trust, more inner strength, or simply new abilities to further expand into your greatness. And most of the time, when we look back on our lives, we realize that often the greatest growth occurs in setbacks, in failures, or in the quiet phases where seemingly nothing is happening externally. Because that allows you to reflect on yourself in the first place. And I have often observed this with my clients who during these phases also gained new insights or were forced to adapt to this new situation and then think more intensively about it, reflect on themselves more strongly, and sometimes even question themselves. And it is precisely these inner breakthroughs that subsequently guide us towards the external breakthroughs and accomplishments. And that is the natural consequence of growth, which begins inside and then gradually manifests itself on the outside. To summarize everything at this moment, acknowledging your destiny and experiencing it step by step is not just an occurrence, but a gradual progression that also requires time. And the longer and more intensively you engage with your vision and learn to dissolve all the things that hinder you, the clearer and more evident it becomes. So once more, my recommendation is to allocate yourself sufficient time to fully immerse yourself in your vision. Embracing and following your calling or your destiny, or truly living your soul plan, is a lifelong and transformative process that never stops evolving and can continuously lead you to unforeseen heights of fulfillment, growth, and purpose. And with that, I want to encourage you, because I am also living proof that truly anything is possible. And I am extremely thankful to currently have the ability to live a gorgeous life, which I could never have envisioned at the start. And if I have been able to do it and my clients have also been able to do it, then you can do it as well. Those were my thoughts on this topic. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to share it with others or spread the word. And if you want more inspiration or insight into my daily routines, just follow me on Instagram. The link is down in the description. Until next time, see you then. Ciao. Bye.